Manager at ITGLOBAL.com. Welcome to our live webinar where we will discuss how to resolve business challenges with managed IT. During this quick but insight-packed session, you will learn about our successful managed IT cases. And our speaker today is Oleg Arsenyev, International Business Development Director at ITGLOBAL. Hi, Oleg.
Thank you, Julia. Hello, everybody. Welcome to ITGLOBAL.com. My name is Oleg Arsenyev, and I'm responsible for international business development in ITGLOBAL. And today we have a webinar session about managed IT services. We will talk about managed IT, what is this, why it's interesting and efficient, how it works, and we will discuss some real projects and interesting cases that we had in our company. But before we start with managed IT, I would like to say some words about ITGLOBAL.com. We are an international group of companies. We provide cloud services, we develop IT software, and integrate IT solutions worldwide. Since 2008, we have been working with clouds, with virtualization, and we were one of the first partners of VMware. At the moment, we have cloud infrastructure in 5 data centers in very reliable and very efficient data centers, tier 3 or similar. We have presence in Amsterdam, in New Jersey, Moscow, Minsk, and Almaty. We are serving customers in different continents and have highly experienced teams of IT professionals. And with our experience, with our knowledge, we have very confident relations with our customers, and we listen, what do they say to us, what questions, problems, and issues do they have with their IT systems. And here there are some typical examples of the problems when our customers contact with us. And for example, IT engineers, they say something like, our IT platform works 24/7. So, or our business is now working everywhere. But sometimes incidents happens at night, but I want to sleep. And this is a problem. Because during the day, I want to focus on some activities, but if I have incidents at night, so I cannot work well. Middle management, they say sometimes, we have complicated IT infrastructure and we have some very high experienced IT guys, but when these guys got sick or they leave for vacation or they decide to quit, it's a really business problem for the company. That's why I don't want to depend on some key specialist or some rare competence. Sales team or customer support team, they say we want 24/7 service for our customers, but our engineers, they want to sleep at night. So that's also an issue for them and they want to resolve it somehow. And on the top management level, sometimes we see that the main guy, he understands that the company is growing, they have some processes, but these processes are not very good. So they are not efficient. They are not applying best practices, and they want to optimize IT infrastructure, IT processes to improve the performance of the company. And what are the options for them usually in this situation? To hire more specialists or maybe to outsource some specialists. But the problem is that now IT systems and solutions, they're quite complicated. And the platform, IT platform, if you have, for example, your online store or something, it's quite complicated. You need specialists with different competences, and sometimes it's impossible to find one person who can support all this. Or even if you need to have a 24/7 service, you need to hire many specialists, and it's very expensive. And moreover, your specialist or outsourced specialist will not comply with service level. So that's why probably managed IT, when you can contract a company who can provide you these IT services, is the way how you can apply best practice on your IT infrastructure. And that's actually the thing that we are doing. So we're trying to apply all modern best practice solutions of IT management to the infrastructure of our customers. So usually we start with audit of the infrastructure. We prepare a roadmap for develop some internal processes to support business continuity, how to deliver this business continuity to the customer, and to prepare a recovery plan in case of any incidents, and implementing strict procedures in support, monitoring, backups, logging, security, etc., etc. And the most important part here that we provide a service level agreement. So we have defined SLA with our customer. So how does it work? So you see here the picture that we have, like in the bottom infrastructure. It can be some services on some servers on premise in your data center. It can be cloud solutions based on Amazon or Microsoft Azure, or it can be our cloud, ITGLOBAL, whatever. And you have some business applications on the top level. It can be your IT platform that you are developing with your developers, or some business application. In the infrastructure, actually, it's a tool for these business applications are working well, and the quality of this infrastructure management affects directly to the work of the business. And developers, in-house developers, usually focus on the development, so they can deal with IT. But it's if your developers will work with like IT administrators, it will be quite expensive, because actually they are paid for something different. But since the quality of IT infrastructure affects to the business, and it's contribute a lot in business value, so the managed IT is the solution that can resolve you this situation. And in general, managed IT is a set of people and technologies that takes the responsibility for IT functioning, support, maintenance, upgrades, reaction to some incidents 24/7, improvements, upgrades, etc. And when we start providing this service, we usually start with audit of the IT infrastructure and integration to all these services and all the components of the infrastructure to our monitoring system. Because if we monitor the system, monitor IT infrastructure, we are controlling it. If we do not have monitoring, we cannot control it. So we usually apply basic health models. So we define some standard parameters that the system shall comply. And if, for example, some parameters are not within the designed range, so some alerts should be generated. We receive these alerts, and first line of technical support try to do something. So 24/7 we receive these alerts, and it can be like restart server or proceed according to defined procedure. And the thing is, we need to deliver to the customer, we need to guarantee availability, performance, security, and enough capacity for the infrastructure he is managing with the service level agreement that we actually were required. Then when we already define basic health model, we usually then continue with customized health models, when we also can include some business parameters, business metrics. For example, you can make some upgrade of your IT infrastructure and something goes wrong, but usually it cannot be visible immediately. For example, you may have one button for making payments. So you do some upgrade and this button not functioning. So all the systems are working well, but it's kind of business important issue because you cannot receive money. So we can put some metrics on the business transactions, and we will see that some transactions within some period have not been generated. It means that it's an issue, and we need to try to find out where is the problem and try to resolve it. Also, some very standard situation when the company forget about SSL certificates and their website not functioning well because they were not updated in a moment. So also these things should be like parameterized and included into the monitoring. So next important parts are backups and logging. So we need to create the policies and establish all the infrastructure for backups, for checking of backups, and also to make a recovery plan and regular procedures of testing of the recovery. Also, the same situation with logging. So we need to not just to have different logs, but we need to unify it in one storage to simplify the process of correlation between logs and have user-friendly interface to work with the logs from all the systems, all the applications that we are managing. And also connected to the logging, we go to basic information security. So we using these logs, we can provide also the common history. We analyze authentication, and also, of course, we need to define access policy and centralized access management. In our activities, in our service, we always use international standard 27001 as the best practice. So we always use and follow it, and we provide 24/7 monitoring for the security. In general, what is included in managed IT? It's managing of all IT operating system, databases, web service, caching, different services, virtualization, of course. Even that we support Kubernetes, we include, we support Dockers and even sub-bases. For the moment, we are not supporting ERP solutions like Oracle or SAP. Development of application is always part that is in the hands of the customer usually, or some special organizations, and also on-site support like working with end users, printers, Wi-Fi, so it's not included in managed IT services. And the results of managed IT, usually it's cost reduction, because you can optimize your infrastructure when you start work with experienced company who can do some steps to like improve the performance. Also, you can sleep at night. It's, I think, very important business value. And what we call ownership without anxiety. So you can just do your business and you focus on your core business and you don't think about IT stuff. So that's the idea that we try to deliver to our companies. So we try to cover all IT needs of our customers and help them to focus on their business. And also transparency, because we have everything documented and in every moment you can revise what's going on. And here I would like to start with some of our customers. So one of them is Gazprom Neft. It's a big oil corporation. They work in more than 20 countries. It's a vertically integrated holding that works in all the fields, starting from research and exploration of petroleum to the retail, to gas stations. So they have more than 2,000 gas stations. And when they came to us, we were thinking that, wow, what they can ask us. So what was the issue when Gazprom Neft needs some support? But the thing was very interesting. So they made internal startup. They came with the idea to develop their own platform to manage gas stations. It was a special solution that helps to make automatic all the activities in the gas station, including like answering questions to the customers, prediction of demand, some special promotions depending on the type of customer, loyalty programs, etc., etc. So in general, this platform can increase the margin by 3-4%, not so much, but in total, with all the volume of the transactions, it's a significant amount of money. But it was a startup, so there were like 10 developers. They even didn't have system administrators for Linux or Microsoft. So we helped to them to prepare the plan how to make this project happen, because they wanted to focus only in development of the platform. And we took all the responsibility for all the details related to IT. If you're interested into the details, we had previous webinar, so you can check on YouTube and you can find some details about this project. So we delivered them the solution on hybrid cloud when some of the services were in private cloud, it's production, and some of the services were in public for the development team. And actually, we take over all the issues related to IT, administration of all the virtual machines, network configuration, and also our first-line support for gas stations and for development. We also help them to optimize development process based on a managed DevOps service. And we provide them 24/7 support and maintenance of all the IT infrastructure. So finally, all routine tasks were handled by our team. Now they focus on development only. So it's very interesting case because finally they launched their product. They working on this cloud environment, and now it's like separate trademark of gas brand. So they launched with this startup new brand inside a big corporation, and this brand is like synonym of innovation and technology, and we are very happy to be part of this project. So another case, small startup in the United States. The company worked with web development. They started to develop a software for service delivery. Just the idea was to make it easier for the companies, for some restaurants, for food producers to implement delivery service for them. But then pandemic of COVID-19 started, and the demand for their service grew significantly. So it was really enormous demand. And when there were not so many customers, their development team were able to manage everything by themselves. So developers were receiving feedback from the customer, and they were improving or repairing something, and there were no any problem. But when the demand started to grow, there was like the situation of, we call it fork. So either develop or support, because support of the customers includes communication, installation, training, support, incident management, and so on. So it's like separate business. So they understood they need to make separate business, and they decided that no, they don't want to do it. So they want to have their own business of the development of the platform, but in parallel, they need to find a partner who can handle all these issues. So they came to us, we made an audit. Actually, they are using Amazon cloud services. So it's kind of standard in the United States, they're using Amazon. They are using EC2 virtual machines, dedicated network, databases by using RDS service and monitoring service in CloudWatch and S3 storage. We revised all the cubes, how they work. There were about 40 servers. 10 of them were for development and the rest for customer infrastructure. So the developers were looking for somebody who can take care of all the tasks for support. And it was obvious to find additional specialists, but architecture was quite complicated, and to find 1 or 2 persons to dedicate them to support was really kind of expensive, because the competences they were looking for were kind of very special. And they decided to get managed IT services with us, because we actually deliver them reliable service with incident reaction support and working with the customers. So there were 14 customers in when we started. There were 14 installations, and they decided to maintain development environment by themselves in their hands. And 5 most important customers, they decided to move to managed IT with us, because these 5 customers were just main like revenue generators, and the level of service for them were very important. So it's important also for us that our customers earn money and they are economically efficient, and the service that we are providing should help them to improve their KPIs. So what we did, we have our pricing model based on instances. So like more instances we have to support, more revenue we so more invoice we will generate. So as well, we know also the pricing model of cloud solutions like Amazon and others. We suggest how to optimize the cost for the customers. We recommend to use one virtual machine instead of many of them, more powerful, and containers for customers. So it was a cost optimization that we made, and the customer finally paid even less than he paid before starting working with us. So with managed IT services, customer wins. So, and actually it even cannot be compared with additional engineer in the staff. So there are some data with this customer cartwheel. So it's really very interesting startup project. You can check in internet, so some information about their growth. It's a really very good business case, how the people use this pandemic situation to create sustainable and very efficient business. Another case is a company that is focused in software development. They have similar problems like the previous one, and they delivered a platform, CRM platform for call center. The growth of their customers resulted in high load of infrastructure every day, and another detail that the customers of the call center are in all the places of the world. So it means that the infrastructure should be also like be distributed in different places. So they also use Amazon, containerization by service Elastic Beanstalk, and database MongoDB. We revised the infrastructure, all the components, how they interconnected, what can be optimized, improved, etc. We implemented the health model according to the procedure, as I mentioned before. We started monitoring, logging, backup checking, and testing, some documentation preparation as well, to become more familiar with the product. So our engineers need to understand how it works to help to optimize the resources. Actually, there were quality assurance environment, there were development, production, And finally, we understood how it works, all the issues, etc., etc. And one of the key tasks was the dynamic load. Because of the load in peak hours was 5 times higher than in minimum period. Thus, it was very important for us to like make auto scaling efficient and to set up everything in a way to optimize the cost. So in the moment of high load, the service shall scale up, and when the demand goes down, we should scale down the usage of the resources. And also using pay-as-you-go model will help you not overpay for what you don't use. So we try to help to our customer to design the model of service in the most efficient way. And it is logical, efficient, and cost effective. So pay as you go and auto scaling. So it also was a very interesting case and successful solution that we provided to our customer, not only supporting like managed service provider, but as well as like consultant, like business consultant, how to use cloud infrastructure, how to use best practice and modern technologies and approach to do it in a most reliable and efficient way and cost efficient. So here, the reminder what is given usually by traditional managed service provider. And so operating system, databases, web services, other services. But as I mentioned already, we also provide like additionally the services of consultancy, because we know very well how it works, and we always try to help to our customers to make it more efficient and more reliable and with a good quality. So if you came to the decision that to get rid of infrastructure support, focus on your core business, please feel free to schedule a call. Here you can find the contact, the email you can write us. Also, you can fill in the form on our website. And actually, what is the process like? More or less for you to be aware how it works. You send us activation requests. We have a portal, or you can do it by email. So then we take the service on a support. So we revise all the access, which are configuration, do some connect to monitoring, revising all the operating system, etc., etc. And then we take application to the support. Also on the stage 2, together with the client, we define the list of services, we monitor all the applications, device security policies, etc. And we also define the roadmap with the customer, what can be improved, what should be revised, maybe something should be upgraded, etc., etc. And then we continue with implementation of the roadmap, and also we suggest to our customers standardization of the infrastructure. It's usually part of the roadmap, because when the customer are growing chaotically, some of the issues they're having with IT infrastructure is due to different types of the solutions they're using in different places. So that's why we try to help them to organize it in unified standards. Sometimes it's related to virtualization, sometimes it's related to migration to some other systems. And then we start provision of the services. So the third stage, so it's installing updates on all supported device. It's usually when you're already connected to managed IT service, you can continue with this. And on the stage 4, we can say that all the infrastructure already on the support. So it's started and everything is done according to the needs of the final customer. If you were able to listen to this webinar up to this moment, here kind of promo, we have a promo code ITG Managed IT1. So when you make a request to us, you can use this promo code and you will get 1 month of managed IT service for free. So please use it. So you can write it down or you can make a screenshot. So just then share this promo code with us and you will get this benefit. And here's the slide with our customers. Not all of, there's not all of our customers, but the most interesting ones. So some of them are quite known internationally. Some of them are like regional customers. But we are really very proud to provide the services to them. Cloud services, managed IT, also some IT solutions that we deliver to different companies. I think related to today's webinar, that is all. So thank you for your time. You can see here my contact information, so you can text me if you have interest in managed IT or cloud services or some software for telecommunications or other solutions that we provide as a group of companies. Also, you have here the email of IT Global to contact our sales department, and contact phone numbers for US and Netherlands. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, Julia is our moderator today. Julia, maybe we have some questions.
Hi. Yes, thank you so much, Oleg, for such insightful presentation. I think it was very helpful to everyone who joined our webinar today. And I'd like to address our attendees and see if you're maybe if you have any questions that you might raise during the listening of the webinar, and you can address them to Oleg, because Oleg is our expert on all of the services of IT Global, and he has a great background and would be able to answer any IT related questions. I see that we have a question from Joseph, and he is asking what is the price for the service? Oleg, would you?
Yes, thank you very much. So as I mentioned, so the pricing for managed IT depends on the resources we are supporting. So actually, what you should do, probably you can send us a request explaining your case, and we can provide you with the code. So I cannot say how much will it cost, because I have no idea about the infrastructure we are talking about. Just we can, as I mentioned before, can provide you a lot of different services, and depending on what you are using, so it can be different. And also remember that we are open also to optimize your infrastructure to make it more cost efficient in terms of support and maintenance.
Thank you. And we have one more question from Alex.
Well, as far as I understood, the question was what to do if the infrastructure is not in our cloud. Well, as I mentioned, we are international cloud provider. Yes, we have our cloud resources, but also in the cases that I mentioned with our customers, we provide the services also to the customers who use in other cloud solutions. So it can be Amazon, it can be Microsoft Azure, it can be Alibaba Cloud or whatever, even if there are some other cloud providers. So we are open to help with resolving IT issues in all other infrastructure. Moreover, at the moment, many of our customers, they are using hybrid cloud solutions. So they do not have all the infrastructure in one place. They can have something inside internally. Some infrastructure can be in our cloud, for example. Some infrastructure can be in Amazon or in another one in Microsoft. And this is also the issue in this case, how to manage all this complicated ecosystem of the IT solutions. And we're doing this as well. So it means that there is no problem if you have your infrastructure in with another cloud provider. So we are open to find the way how to help you.
And we have one more question from Nick, and he's asking, how long does it take to onboard with managed IT?
Well, according to the process, it also depends on the infrastructure. So we do some revision of the infrastructure, then we prepare a roadmap. So it can take, I don't know, from 1 week to 1 month. So usually it can take more if your infrastructure is quite complicated or distributed, or you are doing some updates. So it's also like case by case we are revising. So we need to know more details about your solution, what you are doing. So if you have the urgency for some reasons, we also can consider the urgency and try to find the way how to satisfy your requirements.
Thank you so much. It looks like that's it for or maybe not. No, that's it. No more questions. And just wanted to thank everyone who joined us today. Thank you for attending our webinar series with IT Global. Today you heard speaking Oleg Arsenyev. He's head of international development at IT Global. And thank you so much again. And we are looking forward to see you in our next webinar, which is scheduled for the middle of December. Don't forget to mention that you watched this webinar when you will contact us, and remember that you have a promo code that you can use. And thank you again, and see you soon. Bye. Thank you, Oleg.
Thank you. Bye.